Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, praise and gratitude I pray to the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, who has bestowed His grace and guidance, so that we can attend this meeting in good condition. Salawat and salam may always be poured out to our beloved Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has taught his respective people to active happy life. Good morning, everyone. Back to the weekend TikTok. iPhone we discuss technology and other things with us. My is Ikhsan from class 10 DMM, and now he wants. And now today we have a special guest. Start name is Zakky Alikan, Zakky Yaza from the subclass Asmi who is DMM, and now he want to share about the principle of hierarchy design. By the way, I've been talking to him for the past week, and what a surprise! Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, Aza, can you tell us what the hierarchy principle are and why is the important to design art? Okay, Aza, time and stock is yours.
Okay. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, in this wonderful occasion, I would like to tell you guys about the hierarchy principle. So, because I'm from DMM class, so basically I learned about design, and the hierarchy principle is kind of basic thing if you want to design something. So, something you need to know to make a design. So, maybe without further ado, I will explain it to you. So, what is a visual hierarchy? So, visual hierarchy is a method of organizing design elements in order of importance. In other words, it is a set of principles that influence the rule by which we pay attention to what we see. Utilizing certain hierarchical principle can help even non-designer create efficient and effective, successful visual presentation. So, basically, what a visual hierarchy is a thing, a principle that helps you in making your design more better, more beautiful, and more structured, more organized, and uh, it is more comfortable to look. And the hierarchy principle. So in this slide, there's about 11, I think about something hierarchy principle. There's maybe about 11 or something. So maybe I will uh, tell you about it. So first of all, we have size and scale. So this make it possible to create balance in the design as well as focus the audience on the more dominant element. So if you see in this before picture, you see this diver and this is a whale, but in the same scale. In the reality, the diver is actually smaller than whale and the whale is way more bigger than the diver. So if you see from the before picture, it lets the audience see that this is not a whale. This is just a normal big fish. But it turns out it because it is a whale, so you have to make it more realistic. So because of that, in the after picture, we can see that the divers now are shrinking and the whale are bigger than the diver. So in this picture, we see that now it creates balance between the whale and then the diver. And then uh, it lets the audience see the real information that this is a whale and then this is a diver. If you put it like the before picture, audience will think that this is not a whale. This is just a shark or maybe a some big fish like that. And continue, we have color and contrast. So the choice of color can really influence the audience to capture the main message, that is the highlight in the design. So if you see the before picture, we see many men, but in the center we actually see one man with a different pose. So but if there's no color and contrast, we will see that this man is the same as other men. So to change the audience perspective, we have to change the color and the contrast. So what means that this worker is more uh, ambitious than the other workers here. If you put the color and contrast in the same way, uh, audience will not see the difference between the picture. But if you put it like the after picture, you change the color and contrast, the audience will see that this person is more ambitious than the other workers. So that is the importance of the color and the contrast. Next, we have typographic hierarchy. Using different types of size not only emphasize what is most important, but also governs the whole design. So if you ever see a name card, basically a name card shows the person's names first, and then after that there's like his contact, his Gmail, and many else. So in the before picture, we see that the name, and then his phone number, and then his Gmail. Uh, it seems like it's uh, it's the same. It is in the same size. It's in the same color. So people hard to see uh, her name. So because of that, in the after picture, the name was bigger from the before picture, and then the other was still the same. Uh, and then why? Because the when you want to meet someone, you have to know the name first before you know the number, and then before you know the email. So if we put it like this after picture, you will see the name first, and then you will know, and then you will recognize the name first, and then after that, below the name there's the number and then the email, and then spacing. So aesthetically pleasing design require an empty space for breathing space, often referred to as white space. So in the before picture, we can see the astronaut and the moon. It is a quite nice picture, but in the after picture, we can see the astronaut, and then the moon also, but we give it a space. Why? Because uh, example, when you are in a market, if the market crowded, you are you will struggling to breathe. There is like something because of the crowded, and then because of the pressure, you will uh, getting hard to breathe. But if you give it a space between people and people, you will have a space that you can breathe freely. Same like design. If you see like this crowded picture, maybe your eyes will kind of uh, uh, like it's doesn't nice to see. It didn't nice. It's not nice to see. But if you see like this space between an element and an element, uh, you can see like this free space, making it more realistic. Not just realistic, it making more space that people can see more information of it. The negative space. So not only does it make information easier to understand, it also create focus because it helps focus attention on individual item. So in this before picture, we have two hands. and one heart. And the after picture, we have the same picture as the before picture, but it combines into one. So but the benefit of the negative space is actually that you can see all of this picture in one side. So if we go to the before picture, we have this one hand, and we have to see this one hand, and you have to see the heart to know the information. So basically, you have to see each separated part to know what is the information are. But if we put all of the items, all of the picture, all of the component in one place, we use the advantage of this what blank space like this, the negative space, and then we combine, so you can see all the information in one site, so you didn't have to see in the separated picture or something. And then proximity. Next we have proximity. Placing related elements close together give the reader impression that they are actually related. So when you see the before picture, you will see one man on left side and two women on the right side. So if you see this picture, you see like there's two sides that different. There's two women and this one man. But if you put it like the after picture, you will see that this two woman, this woman, and this man is actually in a one group. So proximity giving you an information that this is not a separated group, but it is in a one group. But and also placing element close together can send other message as well. For example, placing element in specific location on a map can give the audience sense of distance. And next we have this alignment, the structure by which elements are placed in a design determines that component and text are not placed by default throughout the composition. So from this before picture, we see this picture is kind of a mess because we see this text is not balanced with this picture, and this picture is not balanced with this picture. Um, and if you compare to the after design, you will see more uh, more tidier design. You can see all of this are aligned in the center. You see the picture are centered to the pen, and then the pen was centered to the text. So basically, if you want your element on the right, you have to make sure that all of the element is on the right. But if you want to make your element is on the left, so you have to make sure that your element is aligned to the left. But if you want to keep it in the center, so you just have to align it to the center, the text, the this pen, and then this ingredient to make it more tidier and more pleasant. Next, we have the rule of odds. So by placing an equal number of similar objects on their side of the focal point, the result clearly points to the most important element. So in the before picture, we have this hat, this camera, this bag, this slippers, and this shirt. So if we put it like this, you can see the picture was in a mess and it's not tidy at all. So your eyes are not comfortable to look at it. But in the after picture, you will see this t-shirt, this camera, and this stuff are organized in in their ways, like this bag, this hat, put it in the right, and then the other, put it in the other side, and then this shirt, put it in the center. Why? Because this shirt is actually most important thing, because the camera, the slippers, the bag, and the hat was just the other items. But by putting like this, you will your perspective will be focused on this t-shirt. So that is the rule of odds. And next, the repetition. Just as contrast emphasize and draws attention to design element, creating unity which binds understanding and recognition. If you see the before picture, you will see this big tree, and then this mountain, I believe, and this cloud. But you will see like this is unnatural, because basically mountain is bigger than the tree, and then the tree is not as big as the mountain. So by that, like the after picture, you will not see the mountain, but you only see the tree, because the tree is actually smaller than the mountain. So it makes the mountain disappears. So like the mountain is because the mountain is big, so you cannot see the mountain, but you can see this tree. By put it in repetition, you can see that the tree is actually covering the mountain, and then this is the reflection. So that is about the repetition. And rule of thirds, instruction on how to position object in the inner third of the photo for better viewing. Uh, so basically, rule of third is using the grid to reposition the character on the third scale, like this. So if you see the before picture, so there's a man in a rush to a work, but if you see from this aspect, you will the information is uh, it will create less information that the man is actually in a rush. But in the after picture, you will see the man is on this side, and it's delivering uh, more clear information that the man is actually in a rush, because he's in the speed, and then there's like the cloud or something that makes an effect for the design. So it makes the information more clearly that this picture is in a rush. And perspective. So by using perspective, designer can create the illusion in in it from a few inches to several miles. So in the before picture, you can see this nice vector, but seeing like this, you cannot know the information about the things that in the table. But the if you change the perspective of the picture like this, it will give you more information, like how long this table are, what is on the table. There's laptop, there's calculator, there's some file in it, there's some picture, there's some pen, something. So it gives you more perspective. It's more playful. So this is where designers come. They play from different perspective. They made one perspective like this. This is good, but if they change their perspective, it will be more interesting, because uh, one of human uh, wha- wait is one of human nature is wait because one of human nature is that they're always interested in something, and human always curious about something. So because of that, by giving this another perspective, it will giving what they want, their interest, because like in this perspective, most of people will curious about what is on the table. By giving this perspective, people will be interested and will be and then will be satisfied. And I guess that is all from me. If you guys any question, please you can leave it in the comment.